Hello, this is Jody Colegrove with Quantum Techniques. We have developed a proven technique to quickly determine the root cause of your health issue using a form of energy medicine. I work with people all over the world, helping them determine on the phone why they're having a health issue and what they can do about it. So sometimes I've done this for 14 years, and to me it's like so easy to understand. And my husband saying, you've got to bring it down, slow it down, help explain people what in the heck you do. So I will try just give a little quick explanation, but basically what we do is we do muscle testing. And on our website, quantumtechniques.com, we have a product called Truth Techniques 1, and it explains like 17 different ways that you can find to test on your body. Okay, and so if you've ever heard of muscle testing, sometimes the typical ones are where you have a O-ring test and then you try to break that O-ring. Some of them have the sway test where you sway forward or back if you have a true question, or if you're asking a question to get a true or false answer, so you know what to do. But we have lots of techniques. I mean, the one that I personally do is that I have this finger straight and I push down with my second finger. And so that particular is strong, okay? So if I say a statement like, I want to be healthy, that's a strong statement, so that's gonna be strong. If I say a statement of, I want to be weak, it's gonna collapse. That muscle right there is going to collapse. So that is my best go-to that I learned 15 years ago to muscle test. Okay, sometimes you'll see people where they'll actually hold out their hand, and that's when you have two people, but it's really hard to do that one. I just learned recently you can push on this muscle, you want to be healthy, you want to be sick. So you just have to find one or two muscles in your body that you feel like you can rely on to always give you good answers. So, like I said, our Truth Techniques has 17 different ways. Some of the ones that I think are just kind of fascinating is where you can rub your thumbnail and say, I want to be healthy, and it glides. And then when you say, I want to be sick, it sticks. If you have a piece of paper or a desk, you can take your hand and you say, I want to be healthy, I want to be sick, and that how high that wrist allows you to move indicates that. So there's just tons of ways. So that's a great product to learn how to start empowering yourself to learn how to muscle test to get answers. So what answers are we asking? Now, I asked a simple question of, I want to be healthy, I want to be sick. If I were to say, I have blonde hair, which I do, it's natural, I don't dye it, I'm going to get a strong answer. But if I originally was a different color, then that wouldn't be a good question to ask, because it's going to confuse the body. You could do your name. My name is Jody, but let's say people call me Joe for short. My body may be confused on that, and so it may not give me a good answer. So you're looking for a question that is going to you're going to be strong on, and then be able to see the strong and then the weak answer. So that's key one. I do have another video that talks about 5 different things to kind of troubleshoot in muscle testing that would be helpful for you too, that you can look for, or I can send you if you email me. Okay, so in regards to muscle testing, because we're in the health profession, that's what I do. I'm finding out what is going on with the body. Now, one thing that I thought was very interesting is I am a very strong Christian. I have 4 generations on one side and 5 generations on the other, and I feel like this work is from God. This is, He created our body, and we have been able to learn how to muscle test in order to get answers. When they cast lots in the Bible, I don't know what that exactly means, but they really believed it enough to elect David as their king of Israel. So obviously they did some kind of testing in the Bible back then to find out what was going on. So I think it's important to realize that, you do need to know, who you're working with as a healer, and if you feel comfortable with that. When we're muscle testing what's happening with your body. In other words, what's going on in the past and in the present. I cannot muscle test what's happening in the future. I can somewhat say, well, you need to read this code for the next 4 days. I can say, but I just can't go into the future too much. So I can't tell you what the lottery picture, lottery numbers are going to be next week. I can't tell you something that's going to be in the future. I can only test what's in today. Okay. And sometimes when we're testing, your belief system or the person you're testing may cloud that. And so there's some things that we do in order to clear that so we have good testing. So sometimes certain questions are really hard to test because you have a bias of the question. So I think it's important to know the difference, and so what I do is finding out why the body's not healing, what we can do to help get our health and happiness back. And a lot of times what they find is, we like to give an illustration of like your body is like a house. And if you've been hit by lightning, or your house has been hit by lightning, it's going to blow a fuse, okay? And so all electricity is going to go off in the house. Well, when you're ready to come back in, there's not a fire, you're going to start switching those switches to put it back online. Well, sometimes you can do the governing switch and everything comes online, but some of those switches below don't go back online. So sometimes that's what happens with your body. We get into an accident, we have a traumatic experience, we go through a trauma, and it flips that switch. When we get ready to go back online, there may be things that have been turned off, and they can be turned off by toxins, turned off by pathogens, they can be turned off by anesthesias, injectants, from different procedures that we may have to have, or vaccines. And so we want to find out, okay, what is making that go off? It could also be heavy metals, mold, something you ate, something that like a splinter or a spider bite. It could be something you smelled. If I smell Windex, I'm in big trouble because I'll get a headache because Windex doesn't do good in my body, but other people's fine. So the chemicals also can impact the body. So we're finding out through muscle testing the answers. It's like a lie detector test. We're finding out what's going on in the body and why. So that's what we're trying to find out. And so people will come to us and say, okay, using muscle testing or applied kinesiology, we want to find out what's going on in the body and how to solve it, and to make sure that the communication of how to make all the organs, glands, and tissues communicate again, because we feel what God created the body to heal, and there's just these blocks that's not allowing it to heal. And so when we clear those blocks, the body can go back to self-healing the way God created it to be. So that's what I do with muscle testing. And so you're welcome to visit our website at quantumtechniques.com. I also have a YouTube account where I have lots of videos that kind of explain the different things that I do in healing with quantum techniques. And we would love for you to be a client. And first-time clients, we give a discount of $200 to work with us for 60 minutes. And that gives a really good baseline of what's going on in your body in order to find out what you should be eating, what you should be having in your life, what's been toxing you, and getting your body to reconnect and be able to heal again. So I look forward to working with you, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to explain to you what muscle testing is and how it helps you get your health and happiness back. Blessings.